because you've loved. That's how we start to let more light out. Every crack lets the light out more, so that's what it's for. And yes, it hurts, the suffering they souffle ring is the karmic way we stay in the Sufi circle. I don't know what that is, but after I'll check it out and ask ChatGPT, which you see can be an ally if you know what questions to ask, so it can go find the answers our questions and the ions of the quest for. Oh, do you see the insanity of thinking we need to be other than we really are? You, my friend, are a star, it is true. You are so much more than what anyone has ever said you could be. They just wanted you to believe you couldn't be what you came here to be. Because if you believe in yourself, you'll leave the manor house all the governments work under, the prostitution ring of suffering, the suffragettes. No disrespect to those who stood to get rights they thought would give them more power. You see, the foremothers and fathers who fought for our right to vote thought that privileges and benefits were rights bestowed by a corporation they didn't know held our equity. And every time we were turned into something ownable, you see the share that we represent in the counterfeit version of it being the res publica or the public thing. That's where we ring the police to say there's fraud at play and you are involved in it by default of the de factory system that's incorporated us all, and then we had to stand tall in order to be seen and to be given the position that would change our identity. Can't you see with your heart, your inner senses of the way that we fight for what's right and true, because we feel it in our hearts, the resonance of truth. It just feels good unless it don't. It'll feel better once we shore the sheep of their fur, as the usufructory system has done to us, and now we do it to the wolves and then let them freeze. You're under arrest. Stop! Freeze! In the name of love. Just kidding. Oh my god. Okay, so I got lots of birds flying around me in front of the road. I'm making noise. I am the canary who has come out of the mine and said, there's poison in there! It's corrupted! It's a de factory system that has incorporated us into the factories. Incorporated is the way. The corporation nation states. Teach us to hate others who don't subscribe to the same BS. Those belief systems have become a prized commodity. Even we celebrate the lifestyle of things. Our identity comes from what we can do instead of what we are.
C. Hammer and In Vogue became the first recording artist to get 5 nominations each at the Soul Train Music Awards.
Woo! Yeah! Awards! Recognition! Bakeries! Oh, did you know? The Sequy Trust Act of 1666. You've heard for a fact that it's a significant thing, right? Why? Okay, I'm going to share what I've discovered. And it has to do with the bakery. Because it was a bakery, in fact, on Pudding Lane in London that started the Great Fires of London, that destroyed all of the records that the people had stored in their homes, which were private. So that meant there was no record or trace of them once they were burnt down to the ground and then needed to be replaced. Placed in a different place than they were the first time because, of course, that was burned up and lost, and therefore it needed to be refound or resolved, which the Sequivi or the Sestequivi Trust Act, which was where the Pope became the vassal of earth, which is holder of title, which means that when we were declared dead and lost at sea through our registration of a birth movement by informants, which were the parents that were the pair of rentals who birthed us into this room, into this Zoom, into this experience. Pick your ending. You get to choose. You are the creator. You have only been told you have to react, because that was how, in fact, the de facto government gained your power, because you gave it to them and then felt powerless because your power was going to a corpse that was heartless and unconscionable because it didn't have a conscience unless you brought yours with you from the private, which you're supposed to do. We are supposed to do when we act in those positions. I have not, because somehow I tuned into the energetic patterns of it all and then I couldn't play ball. And what's more is I even called the police to report that they were all involved in racketeering, barratry, and coercion of people through property that belonged to them but was claimed within a usufructuary system to be the property of the named one that was registered to, for the man of the house is the manor house, the captain of the house. It's crazy. Styes tree service in front of me, trees being cut down, saved, plundered or frucked, I know not, for the company I do not keep, therefore I would not know what they do, you see. If I do not keep their company, I am not friends with them, for I know not. I know them not, though I'm not a friend, I just have not made it official by connecting with them and getting to know them, and then desiring to connect more than before. But the companies we keep are ultimately where we fruct ourselves or can be released and relieved from the fraud, barratry, and racketeering that is quite the racket indeed. If we don't heed these warnings now, not because I say it as the metaphoric canary on my way to buy birdseed, literally, as I cross the bridge of the heart and say, guys, we gotta drop the guises. We can't be wearing all of these guises and calling each other guys and then not see the disguise of the guys to normalize the lies so that we don't see what we've been buying, because the BS is when we get incorporated into a commercial realm where we are said to be merchants, vessels, selling wares and goods, because, you know, if we're not good, then we're evil and living backwards in the underworld where Anubis crawled up from the Sign-a-Tyrone risk line and claimed us through the name, the Sign-a-Tyrone line, the signature. All of that is a fact. It's frigged up, indeed. But what's a frig? It's a fucking rig, man. So, the game's been rigged. We don't like the jig. We shut it off and take the keys out and change masters. So, let's do it together. Comment below. LJeH, namaste.